It's Nikki here, and I'm back for the last of this sort of 4-part opening of my editing vlogs, in which I'm talking about why you need an editor, how to find one, and what to expect and how to work with them. After this one I will be going on to offer you some more general editing tips, but for now we'll finish off today by talking about what you can do, how you can work with your editor. So last time we mentioned what you can expect when you receive the manuscript back from them. I did mention briefly about the need not to panic or be too upset if you see a lot of red on your manuscript. As I said then, this is why you hire your editor. This is what you're paying them for. You want them to pick up as much as they can to make your book the best that it can be before it goes out to the reading public. So having a good relationship with your editor is really important, and I talked about this a bit when we mentioned how to find an editor. When you're looking for an editor, you want to find someone with whom you can have a good rapport. You're going to work very closely with them on your manuscript, so you want someone who you feel understands you and your book, with whom you feel comfortable discussing things. So when you get your edits back, try not to take it personally. This is a service they're providing to you. They're not going through covering your page in red because they hate your book or they dislike you or anything like that. So sometimes you just need to take a step back, look at it with a critical eye, and not a personal sort of, they've trashed my baby response. Obviously if they're a good editor, you shouldn't have any issue with anything they're suggesting. Of course, at the end of the day, this is still your book though. The editor may suggest, this phrasing doesn't really work, but if you really want that phrasing, you don't have to follow the editor's opinion, okay? Obviously, you should consider it because they've put that comment there for a reason, but you don't have to feel that your book's been taken over, if you see what I mean. It's still your story. If there's something with which you strongly disagree, then you can say so. Go back to your editor, maybe just ask them why they've suggested this change. It may be they give you a reason, and when you hear that reason, everything makes sense, and you think, oh, yeah, no, that should be changed. If they give you a reason and you think, well, it's maybe more of a personal opinion thing, and you really desperately want to keep it the way you had, it's still your story. You can do that. But as I said, you're paying these people for a service, so you want to make the most of that, and you want to listen if they're suggesting something. You want to take it under due consideration, okay, before you reject. But at the end of the day, it's still your book, so the final call is always going to be yours, particularly if you're self-publishing. Obviously, if you're publishing with a small press of a traditional publishing method, then the publisher may have their own preferences. There may be certain ways that a publisher likes to punctuate something and perhaps it doesn't suit your preference, but the editor's changed it that way because they have to. They're following a style sheet that the publisher has provided. So these are things that you need to take into account when you're wondering whether to accept or reject changes. Just remember, this is a two-way communication. It's not the editor sending stuff out to you saying, you must do this. It's a suggestion and you can talk about it. So don't be afraid ever to go back to your editor and just say, can you explain this? Why do you want to do this? Because that's part of the relationship. This is particularly true if you work with the same editor on multiple projects. You get to know each other, they'll get to know your writing style, you'll get to know the sort of things that they're going to be picking up on. And I do find that, once I've worked with someone a few times, be it a particular editor or a publisher, and I've had a few rounds of edits back from them, you start to know, they always like to have a comma here. So if you know you're going to send this work to them, you can put those commas in from the start. And then when your edits come back, they're super light because you've already followed all the things that you know are their preferences. Working with an editor shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be something that makes you bite your nails or, keeps you up at night. It's part of the process, but it doesn't have to be a slog. It doesn't have to be a difficult part of the process. You just need to be open to suggestions and be willing to talk it out, have a look. and understand why they're suggesting things. So I hope that was helpful. If there's any questions about any aspects of what I've been talking about today, then sorry, I got distracted by someone walking past my window then. But if there are any questions about anything that I've said in today's video, pop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them for you. If you've got any experiences you want to share, do so. And I will be back next time when, as I said, I'm going to start from now on zooming in on particular aspects of editing, things that you can do as an author that are going to hopefully improve your writing and make your edits all the lighter when you get to that stage. So for now I will close, but I will see you all again next month. Bye for now.